The Football Terrace is today sponsored by Kitbag, where you can get 65% off. 65% off. Football shirts, football kits, training gear, and football boots. Click on the link in the live comment section or in our description below to claim your 65% discount now. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Chelsea destroy Burnley 4-0 in a scintillating second half performance from the West Londoners. Reece James finding his feet again with a sensational goal and an assist to boot. And Kai Havertz, Chelsea's real number 9. Chelsea's proper number 9. And that's what he is. He is their proper number 9. You can't get away from it. It can't be denied. He is absolutely majestic. And he hasn't scored in the Premier League for a while. I think that I don't want to say he's been disrespected by Thomas Tuchel, because that's a little bit too far. It is. Thomas Tuchel is a sensational manager. But now he's getting the game time. Now that he's being trusted, now that he's been given the opportunity, he is doing phenomenally well. That can't be denied by anybody. The flow of the game looks better. The continuity of the game from a Chelsea's point of view looks better. And when I talk about continuity, I'm talking about being able to continue to rotate the ball. If it doesn't work once, you can try it again and again and again. It was very much a game of two halves, though, and Burnley were well in this game in the first half. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. However, what you also saw today is a difference between the quality of sides. When you get chances against your Man Uniteds, against your Chelseas, against your Arsenals, you must take them, because if they get into the ascendancy, they will, generally speaking, kill you off. They will legitimately just kill you off in a game, and that's what we saw tonight in this match. We saw Chelsea's clinical edge in the second half. Burnley worked tremendously hard to nullify Chelsea, and Chelsea were poor by their standards in that first half. Some of that was forced, though, by, of course, the excellence of Burnley's play. But as soon as the second half began, the riot act was clearly read out by Thomas Tuchel at halftime. Chelsea passed the ball quicker. They run with the ball a little bit more. They took a few more risks and were slightly more expansive in their style of play, and it paid dividends with 1, 2, 3 goals in a 10-minute spell. Killed the game off, put the game to bed, and absolutely ended it. And it was a big and important game today for Chelsea, because Arsenal are kind of breathing down their necks. Arsenal don't want to be getting dragged into fourth. They certainly don't want anything to go terribly wrong and get dragged into a top 4 race. They should have been title contenders. They're not. For whatever reason, they're not. But they have to keep winning these games. And then to a certain degree, almost using the Premier League now as a little bit of a opportunity to keep themselves ticking over, keep themselves fresh for what's going to be a very important end to the season. It's going to be very important into the season. Chelsea can still have a massively successful campaign. Too many people writing them off. Too many people like laughing at them and trying to belittle what Thomas Tuchel was doing. I think is wrong from my standpoint. Make sure like buttons have been hit, people. I'm sharing the call-in link now in the live comment section. It's just Chelsea match reaction with the StreamYard link if you want to phone in. Juan CFC here says, Kai up top, get Lukaku out of my club. And I agree with that completely. As I said in my kind of brief overview, Lukaku's a good player. Kai Havertz is better. Kai Havertz, barring his finishing as a general rule, is superior to Lukaku in nearly every single element of the game. Lukaku probably has more speed and he's a better one-on-one finisher. You know, a better poacher, I would say, than Kai. He's probably physically stronger, but doesn't use it on the football pitch, so it's irrelevant. But when it comes to the intelligence, when it comes to the style, when it comes to the touch, when it comes to the subtlety on the ball, when it comes to his range of passing, when it comes to his actual technique, his ability to play multiple positions, Kai Havertz is superior. So if you do the pros and cons of both, more green boxes are ticked on Kai Havertz's side than you're going to get with Lukaku. Chelsea are getting better the more Lukaku stays out and Havertz finds his feet. Thomas Tuchel needs to build this entire Chelsea team and structure from an attacking standpoint around Kai for the coming years. You can debate on all the intricacies if you want, but you don't need to. Kai Havertz is the guy for Chelsea. He is. We've seen it already. He is Premier League quality. He just needs to be given a set position, learn, develop it, and become a specialist at it. And if Thomas Tuchel gets it out of him, he will be class. Reece James, 11 goal contributions in 15 Premier League starts this season. That's world-class stats. Pity he missed 3 months from injury. Could have scored 10 Premier League goals. He could have done. Do you know? Let me say something here about Reece James as well. Reece James needs to be spoken about. And this myth, well, not this myth. I want to be very careful because I'm talking about one of the best managers ever in Pep Guardiola. People listen to this whole thing of stats aren't important. Depends on what stats and what's your role. Like if you're the goal scorer and you don't score goals, that's terrible statistically and literally. Reece James, the goals are a bonus. Reece James is one of the chief playmakers in this team. If he isn't creating chances, if he isn't heavily involved in the build-up play, he isn't doing his job. Now, you can use statistics if you think he's doing a great job, and your eye test is good, the statistics will back this. You will see how many goal involvements he's in, build-up plays involved in. You'll see his GA be high, his chance creativity will be high, and then of course your eye test will see a natural influence on the game. I think both of these things are important when it comes to certain stats and the build-up of things. But yeah, Reece James for me, I said it at the beginning of the season. I'll say it again. If I was offered Reece James or Trent as an overall footballer, to buy one for Man United, I would pick Reece James over Trent Alexander-Arnold. Not because Trent's rubbish, but I think Reece James is exceedingly special. This is why we needed James back to attack the wings. Our attack looks much better that way. Reece-Trent debate coming back again. Look, I think I think they're both sensational. Something about Reece James I prefer. I miss James a lot. Is the phrase clinical finisher. It's not clinical finisher, but the secret phrase is right there in that gold envelope. If you want to fancy giving a super chat guess, if you want to give that a go. We're going to go to the callers in a few short moments, but please make sure the like buttons are being hit. As we've already told you, use promo code CONTROL. That's in the description below. And you can get up to 65% off. It's for a limited time only. I think this offer runs out in a few days' time. But you can see here, you can go shopping. We've got it on the Chelsea page because it's a Chelsea match reaction, as you can see. But you can go onto the shop here and all manner of Chelsea's items. It just goes to show you, like, up to 65% off. Shows you how much cheaper you can get these shirts for, when you use the code. We've got lots of stuff here. There's shirts, there's kits, there's boots, there's all sorts available. Go check out Kit Bag, powered by Fanatics. At the end of this stream, it's all on the screen for you there. Just use promo code CONTROL. Go and get that done. Go and get that done and claim your discount, my people. Why would you not? It'd be a madness not to. It legitimately would be a madness for you not to do that. It really, really would. We're going to go some calls next on the show. First, Abs will be on. Nathaniel's going to come on. Cam's, Chelsea's going to be on as well. RS, CFC. Stay with us. We're going to get you all on to come and speak. We are live after the West Ham-Liverpool game as well later, so stay with the Football Terrace on that. Shameful to ever include AWB in the Trent Reece James debate. With hindsight, yeah, you're right. Looking back on it, it was pitiful. It should never have happened. It really, really shouldn't. My guy Samuel says Trent is living rent-free in Chelsea fans' heads, is what Samuel's got to say there. Right, let's go to some of these calls today. I want to know what people are thinking. I want to know what they're feeling. I want to know what's going through their mind. Make sure you're smashing that like and share button, my people. Let's do this. Abs is here with us. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I just had the background as well, of my star boy there, King Kai, I told everyone about Kai Havertz. I told them, just be patient with the guy. Give him a bit of time. I know that, because if you look at him overall, if you look at his output in general, even when he was at Leverkusen, he normally always had a better end to the season than he did the start. So from now to the end of the season, don't surprise if he ends up being our best player, along with, Thiago Silva, the Rolls-Royce centre-back. And so for me, I've always backed this guy. I still think he's going to be a big player for the club. He's got all the talent in the world at his feet, and obviously the pose as well. You have to respect that. That's my style boy, King Kai. Another man. Wait, sorry, go on.
You keep going, mate. Sorry, you keep going.
No, another Starboy man I have to speak about is Reece James. Now, I'm not trying to get involved in no Trent debate and something like that because I rate Trent highly and I still think Trent's the best right back in the league. But when it comes to Reece James, he's a very close second for me because you see that guy because you was talking about output earlier. I was like, you know what? Forget the whole stats thing. Just the way the guy influences our game and the way he just, locks down that right hand side. Barely anybody gets past him. Apart, he's defensively solid. Going forward, he's got a fantastic strike on him, good technique, good cross as well, and generally just helps our overall play in general. It's not just obviously the output helps, but it's not just his GA. It's the way that he influences the game as a whole. Reece James is brilliant for us, and it's just good that the output's coming as well because we've needed it for time from our right hand side. And another man I have to speak about, who for me was our man of the match in the first half, is Thiago Silva. Big 37 years old, and he's pulling out man of the match performances. He is top 2 centre backs in the world, and he's not number 2. Let's just leave it at that. That's all I got to say on that. So,
look, it's 3 or 4 times in the last few games with Thiago Silva where I've seen him make these goal line clearances, which have kept you in games or helped to win you games. And as you say, it's the age, it's the experience of him is so good. His body's in great condition. And we've got a 37-year-old at Man United who I wish was performing in his role to Thiago Silva's level, because if he was, Man United would be absolutely secure in this top 4 and maybe doing bits elsewhere with the amount of sitters that man's been missing. But look, Chelsea have got this really good core. They've got this really good group. They had a wobble. During the December period where they drew and lost too many games. They threw away too many points. And I think that was just teething problems for a team that's only 12 months into Thomas Tuchel's reign. He's only been able to buy one player himself into this side. Soundagez on loan as well, I suppose. This team's going to keep getting better and better. I think a lot of people assume that it was, that's it. And do you know the interesting thing now? Thomas Tuchel's job is probably slightly safer now because Roman's gone and Roman ain't going to there isn't anybody to sack him right now. So I very much doubt that he will definitely get next. The only way it can go wrong now for Tuchel is if the new owner absolutely doesn't want him. But look, he's job safe. He's doing very, very well. I think too many people have been quick to kind of laugh at Chelsea and write them off. For me, I just see I still see this. I know you've won a Champions League and the World Cup. I'm talking in the league. You're just this sleeping giant that's waking up again. And by next year, there's no way you're not going to be keeping pace.
We've not been consistent enough. We've not been. That's our problem. We just you see when you see the teams we lost tonight: Everton, Burnley at home, the reverse game of this. What was it? West Ham. Even though West Ham are a good team, if we can sort out them results there, then we should be in a shout of challenging. But that's our problem. We've not really been consistent properly since when Antonio Conte was here. So if we sort that out, we come.
I hear you completely. Abs, absolute legend. Thank you very much. Next on the show is going to be Nathaniel. Cheers. Let's do this. Nathaniel, give me your thoughts on that game, that performance, that win.
Oh, man. Kai Havertz. Oh, man. This guy, he's so good. He's brightened up my Saturday. Did you see that header? This guy is 22. I've never seen a guy so young. And to head the way he headed the ball, if you actually just realize, he headed it in so easily. This guy's going straight to the top. He's going to stay at Chelsea for a while. And what's it called? Reece James. It's scary that's actually scary how good of a shooter Reece James is. I don't care what anyone says. Cancelo, Trent, no one is as good at shooting as Reece James. The way he went inside and out, and the way he shot it, oh my days. Listen, Trent can't chat to him. No one can chat to Reece James. Even like he said,
Trent can't even chat. Sorry, Trent can't even chat to Reece James. In your opinion?
Of course not. Of course, how can he chat to him? Defensively, he can't chat to him. Even going forwards, he can't chat to him. Listen, Reece James crossing, I'm taking Reece James. Shooting, I'm taking Reece James. Defend, I'm taking Reece James. Reece James is going to be if you say Spears, is going to be one of the best right backs of all time, because if you look at his individual game, he's a special guy. And listen, we brushed aside Burnley. If Reece James was in our team for the whole season, we would have been top right now. But annoyingly, we're not. No excuses. Okay, cool. But next season, we're going to be back and we're going to win that league.
Yeah, look, it's not the end of football come the end of this season. There's no doubt about that. In terms of the rest of the season, how much more do you think this Chelsea team can achieve?
we can win the Champions League again. I genuinely believe we can because we're going to be in the quarterfinals after we beat Lille. The FA Cup, Liverpool, run it back. I want them in the final. What else what else competition are we in? Yeah, I think that's it. Even the Prem, because Liverpool, Man City, they're going to go at it. They might get distracted, and we're going to be right behind them. I genuinely believe till the end of the season, we're going to be pushing them to the end. So the Premier League, we're still in that race, and hopefully we can win a few more trophies this season.
There we go. Nathaniel, absolute top man for coming on and having your say. Thank you. Winter Surfers here with me now. Nathaniel has just said that Trent can't even chat to Reece James. It's back again now after a brilliant performance from him. But
I'm not laughing at that. He said we're still in the Premier League title race. That's what I was laughing.
well, if Man United beat both City, and if West Ham beat Liverpool tonight, and Man United beat Man City, who knows?
If we win all our games and they lose all their games,
you might do it. How happy were you with that response after what was essentially a poor first half?
I am pleased with the response. If you notice, Tuchel made an adjustment to formation. He dropped Mount a bit deeper in the second half, which I think is his natural position. So it allowed more of a three-man midfield to dominate more. But the win's the win. That's all I want. I don't want to be in a top four race. I want to secure third as quickly as possible, or like mathematically secure top four. But the performance, it was very good. Reece James, I don't bother with these Trent Kinsella debates, Terry. I'm just going to enjoy having Reece James just in that conversation because it's going to be like the Gerrard Lampard debate, I think, for years to come. It's just going to be, it's never ending. No one wins. Yeah. And I just thought, but if you notice the difference, just having one of the wing backs back fully fit has on the team, just the outlet. He's very good. And Kai, I agree with you. I want Kai to actually start producing in a full season, not just the second half of the season, as we seem to be having these past 2 years. But he played very well. Listen, because Burnley, I know Burnley lost the last game, but they have been on an uphill trajectory the last month or so. So 4-0, clean sheet as well. We're starting to get the clean sheets back as well. So, secure that bag, secure the third, get it over and done with, and then we see who the owner is, and then we know what the plans are for the summer, don't we? Essentially, what we're going to do.
Yeah, exactly, and everything else. But I think today was a really good response, to everything that's been going on in the Premier League. Get the 3 points. What you don't want to do as Chelsea, I said it earlier, is get dragged into this top four race. And last weekend, Man United lost, dropped points, so that you had the chance to extend it further with that game in hand. If you'd have lost today or dropped points today and United do something crazy tomorrow and win, you just get... And Chelsea just now need to focus on one thing only, and that's trying to win the FA Cup and the Champions League, or two things if you take it like that. Yeah. And almost use the Premier League as like real-life training. Do you get what I mean? I think they win about 3 or 4 more games. That'll pretty much guarantee them top four, and they can kind of relax a little bit in the league. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I would expect to see, you guys will be in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I would almost expect if you've got like Champions League or FA Cup games on the way, that's where your strongest teams get played now. In another 3 or 4 wins time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because you're right. Cause it's Middlesbrough in the quarterfinals. So, no, I know Middlesbrough have done very well in this cup, but we should be looking to beat them and get into the semi-finals. And like you say, I think the Lille tie is over with, and then it's just waiting to see what the quarterfinal, because we're going to see the quarterfinal and then the semi-final draw, aren't we? So we're going to know the path to the Champions League, and everyone will start plotting in. But yeah, it was a great second half performance. Thomas Tuchel showing, he can adjust, and he made those changes. And yeah, I'm just pleased that, no injuries were picked up. We got the 4 goals and we're keeping clean sheets again. So that's all that's important. And the 3 points, obviously, is the most important thing above all any performance.
I hear you completely. So. Winter Surfer, Andrew, my old muck up. Thanks for coming on, mate. And we'll chat again soon. Top Thanks, man. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Remember, as we told you earlier, we are today sponsored by the brilliant people at Kitbag. 65%. You can get up to 65% off their range. Football shirts, football boots. All your teams are in there as well. Chelsea fans, get on there now. All the kits are available. Up to 65% off across their range. David was about to come on, but he disappeared. Oh, he's back now. David's back. We've still got Cams. We've still got RS to come on the show and have their say. A few people calling Nathaniel out, calling him a troll. Look, listen, he's entitled to his opinions. He really, really is. Starlord says, can we still call Chelsea if their sugar daddy is sold? And now that's gone now. All the Russian banter has gone. It's over. It no longer exists. The Glazer family friends is part of the consortium buying Chelsea. Fact. Yeah. But I've got friends that are rubbish at things. Doesn't mean I'm rubbish at them. Do you get what I mean? It's you got to weigh it up. We don't really know how it's going to look or how it's going to go. My Man City, not Man City, Burnley. I don't get what that means. I don't understand. Reece James is solid against Burnley, sure, but he gets exposed against bigger teams. I want to show that to me, quantify it for me. David's back with us now on the show. What you saying, mate?
Good win. Happy. Reece James being back in the team just made the team more balanced, and it was good to see. Havertz again, 2 goals, proven once again I was right. Don't need Lukaku. Stick with Havertz. Just play him. I think he's just a 9. Don't even like this thing with Havertz is a false 9. No, I think he's just going to become a straight out 9, and he just has the ability to play football. He will drop in deep if he has to. That's the only difference between him and Lukaku. Lukaku, yeah, may be a better finisher, arguably, but Havertz will come and find the ball. And overall, the performance was just really good. Thiago Silva was really good. I think he's the best centre-back in the world right now. So, yeah.
A lot of people are talking about him being of that level. Obviously, it does obviously trigger Liverpool fans that will say, no, 100% it's Virgil van Dijk. But for me, when I watch them both play, I don't really see any difference. I see them both as, if you think one, this is the point about the debate, which is mad. I know everyone wants their guys to be number one. It's either one of those two people. So, and the difference between the two of them is so minuscule. Does that make sense? Like I put Virgil van Dijk as the best, which is, by the way, when people go, you only say Reece James because you hate Liverpool. No, I put Van Dijk above Thiago. But I'm talking, that's on current form. In terms of careers, legacy, overall, Thiago he's been doing it for 10, 15 years at this standard. Do you know what I mean? He is there. That's a greatness conversation versus best. But yeah, he is sensational. And if you guys didn't have him, as good as Rudiger's become and everything else, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing in football right now. It isn't even just how domineering he is. It's those like goal line clearances, the intelligence, knowing where to be. He's just out of this world.
Yeah, he's so calm about it as well. Like he knows exactly where to be. There's no like rush. Like when you see Rudiger do it, he doesn't do it in like the same way. And that's just like an eye test thing. Like, oh, he looks good doing something, but he just fills you with that confidence of like, when you go 2 goals ahead, that you're not going to concede 3 goals. Like it's not going to happen. You may concede 1 because, anything can happen. You concede 1 goal, but 2, like it seems unlikely.
I hear you on that. Comment here says, today was a very classy gesture. Chelsea fans sung Roman Abramovich song after the Ukraine tribute. Well done, you lot. Should be role models, is what Akash says. I would just say, like, with respect, like as a Liverpool fan, like glass houses, bro. I remember a gesture your players made towards someone in a real heightened situation. Like I said all along about this stuff, like I don't know enough about it to condemn anybody in terms of, I did watch a video yesterday which some Chelsea fans have confirmed are true about how Roman got his money. I was like, oh my days. Like I watched that video, but in terms of his involvement in this whole situation, no one knows the facts. So I'm keeping my powder dry on that. Hi, Terence, move to Chelsea and you'll get 81 million followers. Listen, I'll praise Chelsea when they deserve to be praised. I'm not switching my team. Nathaniel here says, I respect that David saw Lukaku was a fraud from early and kept faith in Kai Havertz.
Yeah, I just didn't see the value that he added because I just felt like Havertz was going to be that player. I thought that's what we brought him in to do. Maybe again, we kind of thought he'd be like a creative 10 or an 8, but he definitely had the ability to play 9. I was there like, I just see how he fits in the team. I didn't see how Lukaku fitted in the same way. That was it.
Yeah, I always thought they'd get him to play. I thought they'd try and make him play together. That's the only way it could ever work, is for Kai to do all the football and Lukaku just being there to like put the ball into the back of the net.
But he's not. But he's not good. The thing is, he's not good enough to do that. This is what.
Yeah.
This is what annoyed. Like last week, I had arguments last week with people trying to argue with offside, and I'm just there like, bro, he's just offside. Like, just allow it. Like, if he does, the thing is, last week he didn't have to be that far, but because he's got no confidence whatsoever, he's now having to like jump ahead and so. And we've given him a run of games, and he hasn't got better. Havertz has been given a run of games, and sometimes he has to play in different positions because we're trying to fit in so many pieces. I want to see Havertz have 5-10 games in a row where he is just playing at striker.
And he is 22, right? Still 22?
Yeah, he's 20
So
to
again,
23.
he's
Yeah,
so,
he's so
he's
young.
still so young, and it's that element of by the time he's 25, if he keeps getting better, I think he could be a more prolific Thomas Muller type player.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And a lot of people like attack Thomas Muller's technique, and I think he's a very good footballer. Like, I've never really thought about it much. Yes, he's not Zidane, but I don't look at him as like being basic and horrible. I think Kai Havertz is actually better technically, but I think that's what he can do. And it's interesting because I think he can. The goals that he scored today, as an example, they're strikers' goals, and I think he has that in the locker. It's just
because it's the thing that both Tammy and Lukaku did have. It's just being in the right place at the right time. When Reece is making that run, just making that simple run in front of the defender, or making a double move to find extra space, like where he did with Pulisic, where he just faded to the back post. Just something like that is so simple, but it can be so effective. And when you have that natural instinct, you can't teach that. And he's starting to do it more consistently. Like,
yeah. He says here. So a comment here says Lukaku literally scored in his last game
against Luton Town. Like, I get it. Again, the problem is that we're making these judgments against Burnley. You obviously want to see it as like against a better team. But I just feel like this season, when we've gone with Havertz over Lukaku, I think we played better. I just do think we have.
I hear you, David. Top man for coming on, mate, and we'll speak again soon. Cheers, brother. Thank you very much indeed. Silva should have been in the conversation for best centre backs of the modern era. He should have been. I think what happened with Thiago, he went to Paris, and people just don't care. You do realize when Mbappe leaves, and if Neymar's very popular as well, but if Mbappe leaves, the interest in that league is almost zero. No one gives a damn about that league. So you can accomplish brilliance in it. But if no one's looking, I remember getting asked this question at school. I think it's a philosophy question. If a tree falls down in the forest, but there's no one there or no creature there to hear it, does it make a noise? I remember, weird question, right? But this is the point. You could be the best centre back in the world. If no one's watching it, if no one's talking about it, if no one sees it, you're not. Some will say you're not the best because no one knows. Do you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. RSCFC's on the show with us now. What are you saying, mate?
Hello, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, my friend. What do you want to say?
Yeah, so obviously it was a good result at the end of the game, but the first half was really bad. Like, it was really bad. Like, and the thing is, it's been reoccurring in previous games where he played in that first half. And it's kind of worrying. Like, even the lineup, I feel like Tuchel could have given Kennedy a chance, like, to play left wing back or something, just for that attacking interpus. Because, like, San Niguez, like, he's not going to attack like as much as a left wing, but he's just going to be more conservative. I feel like he needed to add Kennedy, like, give Kennedy a chance. Just for that more energy on the left-hand side to match Reece James' energy on the right-hand side. That's why we were so good, because we had Chilwell and Reece James, who both used to attack and then used to cause problems on either flank for teams. And that's why we were on that successful period. So to have that attacking-minded wing back on both sides, I just think it makes us play better, considering we play 5 at the back. So yeah, the football at the first half, it was really concerning. But obviously, second half, we got into the game. I love Pulisic so much. He's just an incredible footballer. His skill, his elegance on the ball, he's just phenomenal. And Kai Havertz has been good. Obviously, I feel a bit sorry for Lukaku because, like, now that Havertz is on form, I don't know how Lukaku is going to play. Obviously, I personally want to see Lukaku and Havertz play together in the long term, because obviously Lukaku's 100 million, not just going to get rid of him after one season. That's just not going to make any sense business-wise and football-wise. Like, we're not going to get rid of him in the summer. It makes no sense. Like, you have that type of investment just to get rid of them just so quickly. I don't even think Lukaku's been like... I think Chelsea fans exaggerate how bad Lukaku's been just because of the interview. Like, it's coming from an emotional standpoint. If we're talking football-wise, I don't think he's been bad. Like, if you compare it to the previous strikers we've had, like Morata, obviously Werner right now, even Tammy Abraham, they miss so much chances. Lukaku's conversion rate is really good. Like, whenever Lukaku gets a chance, I back him to score. He scores most of the chances he gets, considering he only gets limited service. Like, Lukaku barely... Like, obviously, even when Lukaku scored at the start, he was getting barely enough chances. Obviously, Havertz is different because he's a different profile striker. Like, Havertz is willing to, like, join with the build-up play and whatnot. So, obviously, it's going to be different.
I hear you.
We're going to have to...
Yeah, sorry, go on. Finish up.
Yeah, so, obviously, Havertz, like, people say, oh, Havertz is better than Lukaku. But Havertz, it's going to be different. It's a different profile striker. I feel like we have to play more to Lukaku's strengths, like just feed the ball into him more, crosses. I think if Lukaku started today, he would have scored as well. I'm not sure if it would be much of a difference, but obviously in the long term, they have to play together.
Yeah.
Because
listen, good points being raised, good logic in there as well. Viewers, let us know what you think and feel. RS, top man, thank you for coming on and having your say. I appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Ike here says Lukaku will only work with a back three with Chile and Reece James. Needs service from wide. It can and will work next season. Havertz can thrive in any situation, is what has been said there. Havertz got 2 tap-ins, one tap-in he almost missed. Lukaku, Tammy Giroud would have scored it. Where is Havertz's creativity against the big teams, is what Alex Dave has got to say there. And look, some interesting points, and everyone will view it very, very differently. But I think if you build Chelsea's attack around Kai Havertz, as he is the most integral part of the attack, it's built off of him. You know, and you build, everyone you add around it is going to get the very best out of Kai. I think he could run your attack for the next 10 years. I think he could make you score more, create more, be more fluid, open teams up, exploit those half spaces and the gaps in between the lines on a far more regular occurrence. That's how I see it. I just look at Lukaku. Lukaku can score these chances today, but it's all the other elements of Chelsea's play which I don't think he can do. Lukaku is one of the last remaining out. He's just a striker. Just a goal scorer. We had loads of these in the past who were good at football but weren't ballers. You know, Les Ferdinands, Alan Shearer's to a certain degree, Michael Owens, goal scorers. It's harder for them now as football's evolving. And Lukaku will always be a deadly finisher when he's confident and when he's happy. If you want to try and play a more intricate style of football, which Thomas Tuchel wants to, I don't think it's going to work. I just don't think it's going to work, in my humble opinion, over the course of time. And we're talking about the small inches here. If he's your main striker, you're making top 4. You'll win some domestic. I'm talking about winning Premier Leagues at the standard that's now being set. It's got to be. You need more. Young Tommy's here with us now. What are you saying, mate? You there, mate?
Hey, I'm here, man.
Lovely. What do you want to say?
I thought Chelsea played well today. Burnley did all right, but Chelsea were just more clinical. And Kai Havertz, what a player! I've always rated him when he was at Bayern Leverkusen. Chelsea played better with him in that false nine. Lukaku ain't that good. He's shit, bruv. It shows that he ain't good enough for Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea fans know this. That Kai Havertz suits them. Haaland will be a perfect fit in that Chelsea front line with better than Lukaku, man. Lukaku, what does he do? He can't hold up the ball. His link-up play is poor. His movement ain't that good, and he's not that clinical in front of. And the guy goes missing against against the big teams in the big games. He ain't good. Kai Havertz does well in that system, but yeah, And Chelsea, I think for me, they got third place wrapped up. I'm sick of these Arsenal fans saying we're going to catch Chelsea. No, we're not. Third place is Chelsea's. We ain't catching them for third. Let's be real. Chelsea have got third place sealed for me. But yeah, they've played well today, and they'll get further in the Champions League. They've got the FA Cup to play for. They can win the FA Cup as well. So FA Cup, they can win it as well. So obviously they've had a lot of injuries. It's good to see Reece James back. Like he's a quality right back. I've always rated him. It's good to see him. It's good to see him back because obviously he's been a blow for them. Like when they've lost him through injury, but it's good to see them back. And yeah, I didn't expect them to beat Burnley 4-0. I went for a 2-1 Chelsea. I didn't expect it to be a 4-0, but fair play. They were clinical. And Kai Havertz, I think he deserves man of the match. What a player.
Yeah, no, he certainly does. And as you say, I didn't expect that scoreline at halftime. It didn't look like that would be the case, but Chelsea went to that next level. When Chelsea turned it on, we saw how good they were. That final against Liverpool last week demonstrates how good a football team they are.
Yeah, because you know the final last week, I thought Lukaku's goal should have been onside. I thought when I was watching it with my dad, I thought he should have been onside, and I thought Matip's goal should have stood as well. I thought Lukaku's goal should have stood, but
yeah, I mean that wasn't the point that was being raised. What I was trying to say, Tommy, is we saw the levels of them where they could go toe to toe with one of the best teams in the world. They are of that level. They just need to find more consistency from a league standpoint.
Yeah. So
Tommy, thank you very much, mate, for coming on, having your say. I really appreciate it, bro. Thank you very much indeed. And everyone that has tuned in today, thank you. Please make sure you smash that like button. I've been invaded. What you got here? Oh, you got certificates. Let me see. Oh, wow. Party certificate. This is good. You got one for Jackson and one for Fraz. So look everyone, see? You got medals? Well done. Don't touch my tea.
When a man didn't blow it, the whistle.
Okay. Well, I'm going to come out and see you in a minute. Give me 2 minutes to finish work, okay? I'll see you in a minute. Madness. There you go. Take Jackie's as well. There we go. Cheers. Everyone who's tuned in, thank you very, very much. Smash that like and share button. Big shout out to our title sponsors over at Kitbag. Go and check the website out now. 65% off. Sign up as well. Make an account with them and you'll get an even bigger discount on things moving forward. Hit the like and share button. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. See you soon.